So today I am installing an auxiliary fuel tank in the truck to give it some more range. It's a DeeZee Auxiliary Tank. So we'll get that installed. I already installed the filler cap and pipe doped it and tightened it up. Going to fit in the back of my 2016 F250. It's a DeeZee. Part number 91752X. Aluminum. And I got the tank filler tube that comes off the side here. It's going to come off that spigot there, and then it has some additional parts here with the hose, and already unboxed some of this. I should have thought of it before I started filming it. Big hands. Anyhow, it's got the adapters in it here for this goes in your fuel line, your filler hose. It's got the hose that'll go from this auxiliary tank here. Got to put the adapters all together. It comes with hose, and it's got a ball valve and everything here. So I'm gonna keep poking away here, and I'll update it as I go. Open up the box here with all the adapter parts that hook into the filler tube. You've got your adapter. You'll cut the hose there, and that will go in your main fill line. This is a rollover protection valve. Put that in. That'll end up in there. Then we have lots of fuel line. Got a shut-off valve, and then your little T here, or 90-degree elbow, and it comes with the hose clamps and some other stuff. And that's all going to end up in here. Your outlet on the tank. Nice looking tank. Great job, DeeZee. Gotta say, quality workmanship. The welds are beautiful. Zoom in on them. Look at that. If that's done by hand, I'll tell you what, that fella knows, or lady knows how to weld, and they know what they're doing. 40 gallons US. I would assume that's in US gallons. I'll have to figure that out in liters, probably around 200 liters. Nice DeeZee setup on the tank there. All DOT approved. Beautiful thing. So I'm going to carry on. I'll get this welded, not welded in, got welding on my mind here. Also has another opening there. You can put it on the other side, I guess, if you wanted, or you could put a fuel pump in there to fuel equipment. Real nice setup. Okay, I'm going to carry on. We'll get this mounted, and I'll update as I go. Okay, so we're starting to put all the valving together on this tank that goes with the gravity feed kit. Only problem that we run into, or I run into, is the shut-off valve. When you tighten it into the hole, it bottoms before it tightens. So fortunately, I have inventory of miscellaneous fittings from the hydraulic days. So I was able to put together, I think, something that's going to work here for me. So got a plug in it and a 90-degree brass elbow with a close nipple here. So this is what I'm going to end up with. This tightened up. So anybody at DeeZee, if you're paying attention, something you need to think about is this for your fitting here. It bottoms out when you put it in the tank. So in that kit, a bushing would have been a handy unit, or a 90, something to that effect. But other than that, minor detail. So we're going to carry on here, and I'll get this put back together, and we'll carry on with the spotty filming. All right, back in a bit. Also, I should mention, with all of these pipe fittings, I'm certain everybody knows, but make sure you put a pipe dope on it, or some T-tape, or one of those things. You want to seal those pipe threads because you can never seem to get them tight enough to not leak without some sort of sealant on there, unless it's brass to brass. But I've got one here that's steel to brass, so, and then to aluminum. So you always want to make sure you do that. The pipe dope will help insulate between the aluminum and the pipe, steel pipe, from dissimilar metals. Anyhow, that's just an add to this. So make sure you do all those pipe dope in here. Okay, back with the DeeZee Auxilary Tank. So there you can see I've got the valve on there. Had to make the few little modifications here. Like I say, the ball valve just kind of bottomed out before it was actually tight, so that's not acceptable. So I managed to find a T and a pipe plug there and a close nipple to make it work. It's not a big deal. It's just going to change the location of where we drill the hole to drop the hose down through to the filler tube. But again, you know, $125 for that kit, and then to have to go and do that digging to find some parts. Luckily, I have the stock kicking around, but somebody that didn't have that, now you have to go out to the hardware store or something and come up with these extra parts. So far so good, but that's, as I say, the only disappointing part that I can honestly say at this point in time. So we're going to carry on, and when we get a little farther along here, we'll keep updating the video. We've run into a little bit of a conundrum, nothing we can't handle. This one may not be for this truck exactly. It fits in, however, the way the bed curls up, it doesn't sit flat on the floor. So I'm just going to fill that gap with some pressure treated wood that I have, and that'll take up that gap and we'll be in good shape. Not a big deal. Sits a little higher than I actually would have preferred, but that's okay too. We'll make it work. Need to get this thing in here because we're heading out. So you make do, and not a big deal. We'll be back. Okay, so got it all bolted down and everything. 2 bolts on the floor with those flatbed truck bolts, trailer bolts. See them pretty good there. And then with some tapping screws to bolts to hold that at the top. Here we've got our shut-off valve, whole line going through the floor. Shouldn't have to worry about chafing because the tank's not really going to be moving at all, so I think we'll be good there. Normally I would have put something around that to just kind of protect the hose, but again, I don't think there'll be any chafing because it all moves with the bed anyhow. So okay, that's that. I'm gonna do a little cleanup here, get rid of my mess that I got going here. Look at me, tools everywhere, but hey, that's part of the deal. Okay, just quick little cleanup, and then we'll be underneath the truck getting this piece hooked up into the filler tube, and we'll be on our way. Go fill it up and see what she does. Okay, so all hooked up here. We've got it all set up. It's got the rollover valve up there in the connecting piece. Had to cut about 3 inches off of the factory hose, filler hose, to the tank to accommodate it, but otherwise it's a good fit. Nice clean install, and nothing to it. So now we're off to go get fuel and try it out, and we'll... Okay, an update here. We are all hooked up. Had to cut about 3 inches off of the factory hose to accommodate the filler tube there, but it came with everything, and like I say, just nibbled a bit off of the hose there. Factory hose, got the rollover valve all hooked up from the tank, and it looks like we're complete. So now we're off to go get some fuel. be back. Okay, so fuel tank is in, and I went and put 100 liters of fuel in it. I didn't want to fill it up just in case I had some issues, but I've been driving around since the fuel depot and back home here again, and the needle has gone from below the quarter tank a needle width to above the quarter tank a needle width. So it appears that we're working okay, and just gonna check for leaks, and otherwise great install. All right, well, hope everybody enjoyed that bit by bit DeeZee Auxilary fuel tank installation, and we'll sign off for now.